This exercise involves balancing out a mortgage portfolio. So the first thing we want to do is open up the mortgage portfolio worksheet. Here it is. And these are the assumptions we'll get to again in a minute. $3 million portfolio, assumptions each mortgage is for $250,000, therefore you will make 12 loans. Now we're going to look at this link right here. It says use the above link. We'll open it up. Now this is a list of foreclosures in the state of Massachusetts. And what we're doing here is we're going to use the above link and locate 7 to 10 communities and find out what their foreclosure rate is. Using the worksheet attached that we just opened, create a portfolio of mortgages. We want to note that the portfolio size is $3 million and each mortgage is for $250,000. Try to find the best mix that will give you the highest yearly and the highest net portfolio balance. So what we're trying to do here is we're trying to earn as much money as possible, and that involves, charging the highest interest rates, but at the same time we want to keep the highest net portfolio balance. So therefore, if we just focus solely on high interest rates, we're going to have a problem with the portfolio balance, because with high interest rates are associated with a high default rate, which we're going to find out. We're going to see here. So I picked a couple of towns already just to get us going. Now this is what it's going to look like. And all you want to do is use the blue shaded in area. Everything else should be programmed for you. And what we're trying to do here is, you're going to see this in a second, there's 5 different categories we have. The 5 different categories are 1 out of 1,200 homes. They charge, if you're investing into a community that has 1 out of every 1,200 homes goes into foreclosure, that's a high risk area. Default rate is 15%. We created that assumption. And the interest rate is 8%. High interest rates have to be compensated for the high default rate. The next one is 1 out of 1,201 to 1,800 homes. So the risk is coming down a little bit, therefore the interest rates come down a little bit, and as you can see, the default rate is 11%. Third is 1,801 to 2,400 homes. And again, the interest rate is 5% here, and default rate is 9%. So again, you can see a direct correlation. Interest rates going down, as is the default rate. 2,401 to 3,000, 1 out of 2,401 to 3,000 homes. Interest rate is 4%, which is very low right now, and the default rate is 7%. And then of course, 1 out of 3,000 plus 1 homes, 3,001 plus homes, interest rate is 3%, and the default rate is 5%. So those are the communities we chose. Now we're going to look at some areas in Massachusetts and find out what the foreclosure rates are. So here we go. Now the first thing I did was, here's the state of Massachusetts. I went out to Worcester County, and I'm randomly picking these communities. And I chose Ashby. Actually, I wanted Middlesex County. Okay, so I go to Ashby. And here in Ashby, Mass, you're looking at 1 in every 386 homes. So 1 in every 386 homes, that's going to fall into this category right here. And obviously, default rate is high, therefore the interest rates are high. So the foreclosure rate is, here it is, Ashby. And say we're going to make 4 mortgages, number of loans, 4, that's $1 million into this category right here. There it is. Now what happens is it automatically populates for you. What's going on is the portfolio, we made $1 million, we assume automatically that the 15% default rate is going to happen immediately, just for the sake of the exercise, and therefore we have a net portfolio balance of $850,000. So our portfolio automatically loses value investing in this community. And then this is a Excel function payment, which is already calculated for you. It's in negatives. Just please pretend it's in positive. It's another complicated step just to reverse that. And then yearly. So if at 8% interest on a portfolio of $850,000, you're going to be making $74,843 for the year. Now let's look at Billerica. We go into Billerica, Mass, and Billerica is, you can see it right here, 1 in every 1591 homes goes into foreclosure. So it's going to fall into this category right here, Billerica. So let's say we're making two. Do we make 2 mortgages into this? That's going to be $500,000. And that's what it does for us right there. It populates that, and 11% default rate. It shaves off the initial portfolio, gives us $445,000. An interest rate of 6%. We're making $2,668 a month and $32,016 per year. Now, just to show you, you have up to $1 million to play with. But just to show you, or $3 million to play with, excuse me. And what's going to happen if we just use these two as a scenario, it's going to show you how much we've invested. And so we have these two numbers right here are coming from the yearly revenue. We have 4 mortgages in Ashby, a high risk area. We're earning a lot of money in interest right here. And we have 2 mortgages in Billerica, a slightly less risky area. And so let's pick one more area, one more city, and let's look at Holliston, Mass. And again, I'm in Middlesex County. You can do any county you want. So we go to Holliston, Mass. And as you can see, 1 in every 2,526 homes is Holliston, Mass. So 6 homes. And that's going to fall into the category 2526. There you go. So that's your 12, that's how the portfolio is split up amongst these areas. Now we actually have to populate this, the 2401 to 3000. We're going to invest 6 mortgages. There it is. So per year we're going to earn $186,779, and our total net portfolio is going to be $2,690,000. So we've lost a little over $300,000 in the portfolio. Now what you're going to find here is as you start running these different scenarios, there's going to be ways to see if you can increase that. You want to try to figure a way to find a balance. The whole purpose of this is for portfolio management of any way, different scenarios, to see how you can increase the revenue as much as possible, but at the same time, net portfolio. You don't want to compromise your net portfolio too much. In the scheme of things, a lot of times many portfolio hedge fund managers, mortgage companies, they don't mind if the yearly revenue goes down a little bit, but at the same time, if you can keep your net portfolio, losses to a bare minimum and it still make money, that's not a bad thing. So that's how to do this exercise. So spend some time with this, running different scenarios, and then just submit it to whoever you did the work with, and that's about it. Hope you have fun with it. Thank you.